Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically Tallahassee, Florida. Even more specifically than that, we are in front of the Tallahassee Auto Museum, a museum of famous and antique cars, plus more. And I've noticed this a lot. You see car museums across the country, and I'm not a big car guy. I don't know the intricate details of automobiles, but I find that the auto museums still are very interesting to me, and a lot of times they do have additional things. They go beyond the scope of just being an auto museum, and I have heard very good things about the Tallahassee Auto Museum, so I wanted to stop by here and check it out. So please follow me. That's a pretty cool little contraption right there. Here we see Elvis Presley, and he is standing in front of what else? The Elvis-mobile. Start here with some very old, very shiny cars. For some reason these floors make a lot of noise. Here is a DeLorean, and you know, as I saw this in the distance, I'd assumed this was a Back to the Future prop or a replica prop, but this is actually a unchanged, unaltered DeLorean, which is actually more rare. I don't know how many. I've seen very few unaltered DeLoreans, but quite a few that had been changed to a time machine style. This 1956 Chevy Bel Air has apparently run over a lady. As you can see the torn fishnets and high heels there. You can see on top of some of these cars they actually have little tiny miniature versions. So you got big car there and a little tiny car on top. You can see this horse here is created by welding together various automobile parts. This is a 1953 Cadillac Eldorado. You can see some fur coats slung over the seat backs. And look at this. We have Marilyn Monroe. Look at her toothy smile there. And yeah, I know that's Marilyn Monroe because they have a picture of Marilyn Monroe right here.
Yeah, and then we had to, it's only 5 miles down the road, so.
Apparently this motorcycle painted in Florida State University colors. It has a Native American there on the front. Here we have a little bit of taxidermy. It's a pretty cool scene here of a bear tackling a deer.
But it's a Christmas tree inside. What's wrong with that picture?
Do love the random mannequins displayed around the museum. Got a little baby in the carriage there, and is that bear? That bear is supposed to be Donald Trump, I think, wearing a princess crown. A lot of various different collections in this museum as we're entering the grand piano section. Check that out in that box. We've got an asteroid. What's this one? This is a dinosaur egg. And then this is dinosaur poop. There is body armor for someone on the bomb squad. Apparently that would protect you from a bomb explosion. There's some guns. And I think is that Arnold? Is that Arnold? What movie is that from? Some very beautiful pianos here. Looks like this piano is made out of pure gold. Probably just painted gold, but for all intents and purposes, it's a solid gold piano. Oh, this one's very interesting, that green color. We got a guitar with Garth Brooks painted on it. This Florida highway patrolman standing in front of all these different police badges. You can see the police badges from all over. Some of these, very interesting logos on them. You see the Sleepy Hollow, New York police badge has the Headless Horseman on it. And the Lottie police has a strawberry and a bullet. And what would a law enforcement display be without a collection of shanks and other prison weapons? It's a pretty frightening dagger right there. Various items to stab and cut and poke other inmates. And then down here it says Sparky 2. It's a little tiny replica of Florida's famed electric chair, Old Sparky. And there's a death warrant, or a copy of the death warrant, for Ted Bundy, who was killed in the Florida electric chair. You can see quite a collection of handguns hanging down from these chains. This is pretty interesting. There is actually a doll section, a massive collection of various types of dolls. I think these up here are different Shirley Temple dolls. Okay, what on earth is that? It's a little Confederate doll. And I don't know, it's this baby face doll with a mustache. I'm confused. These are various figures. I know that's John Wayne. Forget who that is. But is that Groucho Marx and Sherlock Holmes? I don't know much about dolls. This is an All About Eve doll. And I must say, Muhammad Ali looks a lot of place. Get the adorable little beetle dolls right there. And up here, we have Spice Girl dolls. Does anyone, of course everyone remembers the Spice Girls, right? Oh, what a time to be alive. Down here, have some Michael Jackson dolls, all his different incarnations. And then here we see Elvis sharing a collector's case with not only Vanilla Ice, but MC Hammer as well. I almost could forget that I'm in an auto museum. What are those things? These are half human, half animal chimeras. Spooky witch right there. There's an old school Ken doll. See, he's even got a little bit of fuzzy hair on his head. This is pretty interesting. There's Barbie loves Frank Sinatra. There's Barbie and Elvis. There's Star Trek Barbie. And possibly most confounding, Rosie O'Donnell Barbie. This is a old funeral hearse sign saying this would have been the same type of hearse that was used to transport Abraham Lincoln when his body died, and take his dead body around the country. It's a pretty wacky car right there, the Ford Model A. It's made completely out of wood, and it says it is street legal, but I would hate to be in a flaming car accident. I think that's a water buffalo head. Oh, and this really cool old TV. Philco Predicta TV. Alright, we're heading up this ramp to the second story. Finally, my feet quit squeaking on the ground. That's actually quite a relief. Almost missed this massive collection of golf clubs along the rampway here. There's a version of the USS Enterprise there. It looks like they also have a collection of Star Trek toys. This guy says, Red Alert. Here's some old Star Trek Happy Meals. I don't remember them ever having Star Trek Happy Meals. I love the old Happy Meal boxes. That's what brings back a lot of memories. I don't think they have those anymore. This case has a collection of presidential dolls from Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt. You can see all these super fancy and ornate cash registers. It's like they just don't make things this fancy anymore, like practical things. Some soapbox derby cars. This one's sponsored by Southeastern Meat Corporation. All these horses you'd find outside grocery stores. It's another thing that you just don't see that much anymore of. Star Wars collection here. That Ewok phone is pretty amazing. It says "Hello, Wicket." This case has a bunch of old typewriters and calculators and adding machines. These old Texas Instrument calculators. And this funhouse mirror. Hello. Hello. Yeah, so many random collections. These toy trains, these biblical plates. There's some gnome statues down there. We have this knife collection. But I think most impressive is this NASA space machete. It says it's an astronaut knife. What does an astronaut need a knife for? Like battling aliens? Yeah, seemingly endless cases full of collections. Knives over here. Tractors. Tractor-themed knives. Belt buckles. Footballs. Look, I spotted over here. Still love these things, these egg-laying chicken machines. Does anyone else remember these? This is a fun chicken. You put your coin in there, the chicken would spin in a circle. This would usually be filled with plastic eggs, and it would drop out an egg that would have some cheap little prize in it. It was the highlight of my childhood. Over here, see bicycle collection. There's all these different slot machines along the wall as well. Come across this massive collection of motorcycles here. And I don't know who that is supposed to be, but over here we have Evel Knievel. And then who is that behind him? Is that the Terminator there behind Evil? Is that the Terminator? No, I think it's just a cool guy with sunglasses. Back there you can see Elvis hanging out with some showgirls. Why does this showgirl have her hat pulled down over her eyes? There's a whole collection of Batmobiles here. This Batmobile right here, 1992 Batmobile, was actually used in the film, the second film, Batman Returns. There's a Bat cycle where Batman would ride there, Robin would ride there, and it looks like Robin would have his own miniature car that could come out and drive on its own. There's Catwoman in her Classic Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman suit. Well, here's my favorite Batmobile, the classic Batmobile from the Adam West TV show. There we have Batman and Robin. That big duck there, I think that was one of the Penguin's vehicle. There's Penguin right there, the classic Danny DeVito Penguin. It says that this car was used in the movie Tucker, The Man in His Dream. I've never heard of that movie. I've never seen that movie. Has anyone seen the movie Tucker, A Man in His Dream? Walk into this little area here. Known as Moore's Mercantile. It's like an old timey store with some various antiques. Moore's. Crap around under my feet, but I guess this is the owner of said shop. In the back of this truck we see this giant alligator. It's trying to eat this fox that looks like it's jumping off of his bottom lip there. Says that when this particular alligator was killed, he was the 11th largest alligator ever caught in Florida. Don't know where he stands now, but that's what he was at the time. Love this boat right here. It's like I said, called an African Queen style boat. Reminds me of the boats used in the Disney's Jungle Cruise. The Native American section here. We see this large hand-carved canoe. It's a really cool collection of old boats. Really neat. A massive collection of boat motors, and it really just, I mean, look at that. That's a lot of boat motors. Right here we see this racetrack built for these little toy cars. I just noticed all the racers are teddy bears. So it's a little teddy bear racetrack. Look at that Halloween bear covered in jack-o'-lanterns. Look back there, we can see that the mural of the audience, all bears. Oh look, there's Pooh Bear in the middle. But I guess we are in Bearville, USA. Some really cool toys. In this case right here, got Fred Flintstone on the back of his dinosaur crane. And then look at these Disney marionettes. The classic Atari right there. And I by the time I was a little kid, I had a NES, but I still would enjoy playing the Atari when we went over to my grandmother's house. It's that a Rocky Mountain bull elk and a wild boar. It's a massive two-man chainsaw. I don't know, that's pretty terrifying, the thought of having to use two people to pick up a chainsaw because it's so massive. And then a little Florida bobcat. Out in front of the car museum we have this massive, towering Uncle Sam. And look at this right here. Looks like a homemade TIE fighter. So thank you for joining me here at the Tallahassee Car Museum. And again, a lot more than cars here at the Car Museum. A lot of interesting collections. You know, of course cars are a big part of it, but plenty more to see than just automobiles. Appreciate you guys watching. If you would like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon, $3 or more. We'll get you a postcard once a month. Also now selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop. All that information is in the description of this video. Until next time, this one's in the bag.